Hello everyone, and we are reviewing Dark Souls today, and we got a lot of stuff to talk about, so I'm trying to make this as brief as possible, but I really do want to talk about a lot. As somebody who completed everything in Demon Souls, I'm looking forward to doing the same to Dark Souls, but I haven't done it quite yet. But anyway, let's start off with the gameplay first here. There were some changes between Demon Souls and Dark Souls. Many of the controls and everything will be very familiar, but some elements have changed, such as the Nexus. The safe zone in Demon Souls no longer exists. There's a small shrine area where NPCs will hang out, but overall your bonfires, as you just seen Lynn, is your safe primary zone for leveling up and such as side. Similar to Demon Souls, there is a training area where you have messages on the ground helping you understand what to do and how to do it, not leaving you completely blind, but still leaving a little element for you to learn. You'll be given the choice to pick a class and design your character. I started out as a sorcerer and quickly grew to be very magic user with pyromancing, sorcery, and miracles. In my second playthrough right now, I'm actually using some attack miracles now. But anyway, the setting's very medieval if you have no experience with Demon Souls. So you'll be dealing with magic, swords, spears, shields, archery, and you have a nice variety of weapons to choose from, so you're not stuck alone with a simple weapon. Looking at the layout, the red bar is your HP, the green bar is your stamina. Almost everything uses stamina except for casting spells. Running, dodging, rolling, attacking, and being hit with while blocking with your shield all consume stamina. The number gauge in the corner top left is another new element. That is your humanity. Your humanity, similar to Demon Souls, there's a living and dead state, but instead it's being undead and hollow. When you're hollow, you are in your dead state, but when you're human, you're basically undead, but you look human. Your humanity will increase item drop rate, and it also affects certain types of weapons and spells that involve the chaos category. More humanity makes chaos stronger. In the bottom right corner, you'll see another number gauge, which should be familiar to anyone who played Demon Souls, your soul gauge. You get souls for killing things, using soul items, and other thing. There's a few other ways to get souls in Dark Souls. Like there's a character you can actually technically sell, but he eats the items and gives you souls for them. But your souls, if you have no experience with Demon Souls again, your souls are everything in this game. Basically, humanity is the only real addition to your character, really. Souls were pretty much everything in the original. They are how you buy things, upgrade things, level up. They're everything. And when you die, you lose your souls. And you only have one chance to regain your souls again. They are left a few seconds before you died, and you can pick them up. But if you die again, they are permanently gone, and you'll have to re-get new souls. In Demon Souls, every single boss dropped boss souls. Inside Dark Souls, there is not a big emphasis over boss souls as it was in Demon Souls. Boss souls were used to learn really high level magic and craft really high gear. You no longer need boss souls to learn high level magic, you just need a lot of normal souls. But boss souls still retain their usage to be crafted into powerful weapons. So, and not all bosses have a boss soul. Most of the end bosses are what drop boss souls. You'll find most of the beginning ones don't really drop one. So don't be expecting having a lot of boss souls. And there's a new type of soul called the Firekeeper soul. These souls are for upgrading your Esca flasks, which this gentleman here in the beginning presents to you. Your Esca flasks will replace your orbs and such you had in Demon Souls. I'm assuming this was to balance out PvP, since it's kind of annoying when you were battling someone else who had 99 of all 3 types of healing items and all 99 of all 3 mana items and had second chance casted upon himself, and you all just infinitely fought until you ran out of items or got lucky and killed the other person. Esca flasks have a limit at 20, and that's only if you kindle the bonfires, and we'll explain kindling in a bit. But when you start, you only can have 5 at a bonfire, and they restore every time you go to a bonfire. Later on, you'll get the power to kindle, and again, we're going to talk about that when we get to talking a little more about bonfires here. But well, we could talk about them now, actually. Bonfires, like I said, you're going to use to level up, crypt magic. You'll later get the power to warp between special bonfires, and you can get a repair kit, a blacksmithing kit, and such, where you can do basic smithing yourself at your bonfires, but complicated smithing is required to go to the special blacksmiths, which there are multiple of in this one, each one covering different types. And there are a few new types, but overall, the crafting system in Dark Souls, I think, is a little less complicated than Demon Souls was. There isn't as many convoluted ingredients and such for all the different types. But yeah, you're still seeing the training area, by the way. I do have some footage here in case you're wondering, but they added 2 extra moves into your repertoire. Mainly, you can now kick and do a jump and a jump attack into your controls, aside from the normal stuff you were capable of doing in Demon Souls. But overall, you'll find the control setup and stuff very similar if you play Demon Souls. If not, then, you know, you gotta go in the old-fashioned way like everyone did in Demon Souls. But, going on, later on in the game, like I said, you'll get the power to warp, but that's about after the halfway point. But bonfires are very important. Now, kindling has to do with humanity. You get humanity from different things. There's a secret calculation based on your enemies, normal enemies you kill, which formula has not been completely downed. But most people believe the boss has to be alive for the calculation to happen. You get them from bosses. You can get them as phantoms from bosses. You can get humanity items. There's a lot of creatures that have a chance of dropping humanity items. Some people farm rats and the little baby skeletons in Tombs of the Giants to get humanity. But to kindle a fire, you need to be in your human undead form, and you also need humanity. When these 2 are met, you'll be able to kindle a fire 3 times. Every time you kindle a fire, it gives you 5 additional flasks. So you can go up to 3 kindles for 20 flasks. But you need the rite of kindling before you can go past 10. So you can only, when you're starting out, you can only go to 10. So until you get the rite of kindling. Now, when you kindle your fires, you'll notice they also get bigger. Also, no, that plunge attack on that. There's a few good opportunities for that. But anyway, this is the level up screen here. And just like there's one change from Demon Souls, Willie. Now you have a stat that has to do with your magic slots, attunement, which increases your magic slots. Aside from that, it's basically the same concept that Demon Souls has, and as you can see, I'm not human and have no humanity. Now, as you see here, the bonfire is bigger. Now, like Demon Souls, there's the summoning aspect of being a phantom. There are multiple phantom forms now, though. In the game, there's a covenant, which we'll talk a little about that. I'll talk a little more in depth about that when we get to the clip for it. But There are different Phantom forms, and each one is related to different covenants or just regular summoning. You can still invade and summon people to your aid. What you're seeing is the Forest Covenant, who are kind of a battleground style PvP. If you join the Forest Covenant, you basically, anyone who isn't a part of the Forest Covenant comes into the forest area they roam in, you get sent to go kill them. Now, here's a scene from Blighttown. Basically, you can do special moves. There's basically two types of moves you can do with your weaponry. You can parry with your shield, which I suck at, and I don't really have any footage of parrying. I'm not really good at parrying, to be honest. But you can also backstab. But it's important to note that while you can also do these things to most of the enemies, usually ones that are really large you can't, so keep that well. Mostly ones relative to your size you can. But the enemy, if the clip will come here, so we try and time this stuff. As you can see in the clip here, the enemies can also do weird grapple moves like this. Board will grapple on your head and peck the hell out of you, while others can do stab moves and such too. Now there's of course merchants in the game, as I mentioned. Souls are necessary for buying, and there's quite a few merchants. Some hidden, some out in the open, some unlock as progress or bosses die and such. Or you save them or find them, or you know. Now always take note of everything they have. Because, for example, this key right here, you don't want that key for later, so it's best to buy it as soon as possible if you can. Now, here we're going to talk about covenants. This is the Dragon Covenant. They're one of the really secret covenants you have to actually really look for. Joining the Covenant, you have to basically pray to them, follow the rules, and to rank up, do what they do. The Dragon Covenant's a dual style PvP, but there are many covenants to discover, and I'll leave that to you. So let's move on to the story. So the story is, you get out of the asylum, you get a little backstory that there's some prophecy about the undead, and you talk to this guy at the shrine where you get dropped off by the crow who grabs you at the end of the asylum. And basically he'll tell you that there were 2 bells of awakening, which the one guy who gave you the Esca flasks mentioned to you, and if you wing them, something's supposed to happen. And that's basically your first task in the game, is to go and look for the Bells of Awakening. Now, unlike Demon Souls, which was basically you in a hub, and you pick a stone, one of the Archstones, and you went into a level that just went linearly straight. I mean, it had side paths and secret stuff, but overall, progressionally went straight. Dark Souls has an intertwining open world that you unlock shortcuts.
Oh. You don't look hollow, far from it. I am Solaire of Astora, an adherent of the Lord of Sunlight. Now that I am undead, I have come to this great land, the birthplace of Lord Gwyn, to seek my very own son. You find that strange? Well, you should. No need to hide your reaction. I get that look all the time.
There you are. Well, welcome to Trusty Patch's Trove of Treasures. We chop prices, not limbs.
As you can see, Patches also returns in Dark Souls from his role in Demon Souls. And as you quest, you're going to meet a way of strange bosses, from butterflies to necromancers to dragons and demons and horrifying abominations to really crazy knights and shit out to kill you. You're going to meet a strong array of nice bosses, in my opinion. But there can be, like, for example, Pinwheel here, as you're seeing here. We're not going to see any fighting footage, it just says cutscene. But I killed him in 2 hits because I didn't go to his zone soon enough. I went to it really late, so I became really powerful. As I said, the world is open, so there are multiple paths, and you can accidentally go in the wrong. Generally, if you find that the enemy is really strong, you might have a bit of a problem. Now, this is one of my favorite boss fights here, by the way, where you fight a dragon slayer and a giant dude with a hammer. who's I believe an executional. Yeah, he was an executional. This is a very interesting fight because it has a two different ways of ending based on who you kill first in the first part of the fight. But anyway, we're gonna get some music going here now. I really like the soundtrack. I mean, in normal stages, you have like background music and that, where like you're in the forest, you're hearing foresty sounds and that. But obviously, the really good orchestrated music and stuff kicks in when you get to boss fights, or really inevitable parts of combat and that. And I took in some samples of and some random clips of different fights. The music and fights don't necessarily all match up. I just picked a few different clips and samples of songs that I personally liked from the game to give you an idea. So, to end, I think I pretty much covered most of the basics here. To end, I'm sure anyone who's read or heard anything about this game, people call it an extraordinarily hard game. I personally like to call it Mega Man Hard, a game that rewards you for overcoming the challenge thrown at you, but punishes you for failing at it. And that, in my opinion, perfectly describes Demon's Souls and Dark Souls. It's a game that rewards you for overcoming something it threw at you, but punishes you for failing at. And if that does not interest you, then I would only suggest renting either Demon's Souls or Dark Souls before you purchase it, to give it a try and see if you like it, because it's definitely not for everyone. But if you like the type of games I like to do, then you surely will probably enjoy it. If you've never played Demon's Souls and you're just looking into Dark Souls, I would recommend playing Demon's Souls first, because I personally think Demon's Souls is easier than Dark Souls. That might change though when the next patch comes out, since the next patch does apparently nerf some of the enemies, so that could kind of change. But as it stands, I say Demon's Souls is easier than Dark Souls, but that's just an opinion. In the end, most people who are a fan of these games might ask me, did I like Demon's Souls better or Dark Souls? Or which one do I think is better? And personally, that's kind of hard to say. Most people have been complaining about Dark Souls having problems and getting patched a lot when Demon's Souls wasn't in America. There's something important to note about this little complaint. Demon's Souls took about 8 months, I believe, before it came out in America, and it had a number of patches itself fixing things related to enemies online and equipment and balance. America got the game when the last patch already existed, thus giving us the impression it never been patched, that it came out perfect. But no, it didn't. It didn't in Japan. It only did for us because it took so long for anyone to actually touch it, and Atlas took that deal and bought it to us. But anyway, to the end, I can't really say either one's better than the other. They both have interesting changes. The open world aspect is a different change in that, and I only have one real complaint. And that's generally the summon. It has to do with the summon signs. Because the open world aspect of the game, it created like certain sections that you could only lay your summoning sign in, and you have to stay in that section, because if you leave, it vanishes and you have to sit in the next section. I understand it being a little hard to maybe have your sign be somewhere and be in a completely different zone, but I think it's kind of mean that one zone has to have like 2 sections in that, and you can't just explore that whole zone leaving your summoning sign in one specific spot. It limits what you do, and it kind of gets boring when you have to wait a while, because sometimes it can be a little hard, especially when you're getting higher level, to find people to summon and such. Aside from that, that's my only real complaint in Dark Souls. I really enjoyed the game, and I hope you will check it out, and I hope you enjoyed this review. I know it's not perfect, but it's my 2 cents.